Yes, my name is Bench and welcome back to Smuggler's Cove. In the last episode we were working on the arrival area for our turbo lift. You can see it under there with the trees, and we've added in this big glass sort of sphere. And this is going to be our Parley Chamber or our Senate Chamber, whatever we want to call it, and it's going to sit above our turbo lift arrival room. So you can see it's rather large. We're going to go for that sort of Star Wars thing with all the different places where people stand, all the different podiums, where trade negotiations and anything else can happen. And then in the center here, we're going to have a person talking. So you can see it sits right underneath the turbo lift, and it's a little bit bigger than our other room, which is the convention room under here that we finished in a previous episode. You can see it's quite purple, quite light, but it's also a little less small. You can see we've got our room where we stand. We can also turn the lights off, you can see, so we can do this voting. It's pretty simple voting. We've basically just got a red and a green light that you can toggle between and that you could then see. But we want to do something a little bit more advanced with our other Parley Chamber upstairs. We want to be able to actually have all the votes counted. I've left a couple lights on here. Hold on. Oh, it's so much happening in this station, you can lose track of everything. But yeah, that's the idea, is that you're able to vote, and then we'll have it all tallied automatically through logic, and it's going to look fantastic. So we'll just get them sorted there. So you can see that's what this current room looks like. It's quite bright though. We've got the glass, and it makes good for a convention room. But when you want to do negotiations and stuff, you want it in a bit dark. So that's why we have it in the center of the station and all around. You can see it's a bit big. It's almost as big as the old Thunderdome. But you can just imagine how awesome it's going to be. I might actually shrink this a little bit. It seems a little bit big for the amount of people, because I'll do a template for it, and then from there I'll just copy it around and add it all into all the walls and stuff. So we have the green crystal armor, basically green glass. And what we'll do is we'll get rid of that, or be able to filter that out when we finish to be able to add the other stuff in there. So you can see what it will feel like standing on these edges, just kind of looking out. And it's going to be pretty cool. I think it's going to be really cool. Looking around. And you can see where it sits. It takes up a fair bit of that center area. Again, I was talking about, I'll probably shrink it a bit. It seems a bit big for how much I want to put in there. I don't want it to feel too big, and also, you know, it's got to be manageable. You saw previously the convention room, how it took a little bit for the lights to load, so I want to probably make it a little bit smaller so then we can actually see all the lights update. So you can see, I mean, it's only 40 blocks above the other room. I might add it a little bit higher above that other room because it doesn't seem like it's all that high. And I don't want it to feel cluttered. I want it to feel quite open under that other area. So that's the room that we're working on, and we'll keep working on it. Okay, so we've started templating out our little sort of voter podium thing. You can see it's based off a bit of that Star Wars thing with the rounded look. We've added the seat in, and it's got this cool little glow about it, and it's going to be black, so everything's going to be dark, and you can see how small it is compared to the rest of the room. I'm still not quite happy with the size of it. I'll probably shrink it again, but you can see it's going to look pretty cool. So if we go and take a look at it now, you can see it's got the purple glowing. You can see what it feels like just looking out from there. That little red dot's the center where the podium will be. So we've got the seat, we've got all these different light colors, and we've got these activation modules all around. So there you go. That's the seat. So you're raised a little bit higher so you can at least see, but also still have access to all these buttons here. So we've got our attention button here in the middle, and then we've got the voting buttons on the side. So the attention button in this mode will light up blue. I've forgotten some spots. Will light up white when you want attention, and will alert the guy on the podium that someone wants attention. These other buttons don't do anything at the moment because we're not in the voting mode. Now, if we go inside, you can see we've got sort of this laid out room. So you have a place to hang out while we're not actually in the chamber. You can see on the floor there's an undetonator, so you're able to respawn here if need be. You can see we've got a little seats area, and then we've got our main door, and underneath a bit of storage, and also a shower, and a little sleepy bed, and a little bench. So all kinds of little things here. Just the necessities of while you're attending negotiations or the like, and then we've got the main door. So you can see we can open the main door there, and we've got these two different lights, the green and the red light. So when it's green, it's unlocked. So from outside, we can open it and close it. That's fine, as you can see. But when it's occupied, it goes red and locks it out. So we'll see when we close it from the inside, it then becomes occupied, the light goes red, and if we try to use this, it's not going to work. It's you're unable to get in. So we have to unlock it from inside in order to be able to unlock it again. So that's that little room in there. You can see everything's public factioned as well. So, which is sweet. So that's that little thing, and I'll be able to template that around to all the different areas and stuff. Alright, so if we go over here, you can see we've got a access button for which I'll hook up to an admin sort of area. So if people mess around and they disconnect and stuff without unlocking it after the negotiations are done, we can give it a little bit of time, and then we'll be able to unlock all the rooms all together. Because there's going to be a fair few, and you want to be able to have that sort of control. So you can see there's all kinds of logic hidden away. We've got the logic in the back, and then in here we've got our logic, which is a new module that's based off of the voter. It's a voter module. So you can see it's got the labels in there, and we'll be able to hook it all up. And this enables us to be able to vote. There's a lot of logic in there. You can see the bottom's just covered with connections that we're going to have to hook up. So if we switch it over to the actual voting setting, you can see the purple light's gone off, and now we're in voter mode. So when a vote's called, we have the option of choosing yes or no on the two sides. They'll be labeled, and then we use the center one, which we usually use for attention. You can then go and lock in our vote, and you can see we've voted no. So we'll be able to see it there with the red light or the green light, all kinds of options, and then the person on the podium will then be able to tally the votes and see the results. So it'll be numerical results coming out of that, which is awesome. So let's go ahead and start completing this room, because it's going to be nuts.